Hi, and welcome to the To Be Read podcast, where we give honest reviews on viral books that you may see on social media and popular book review websites. This is Chris.
And Kirsten. And on today's episode, we will be discussing The Deal by Elle Kennedy. So cozy on in, and let's see if you should add this book to your TBR shelf. Hello, everyone. It's been a hot minute.
It sure has been.
See, what had happened was I went to Missouri in May, and we had all the intentions of recording this episode, but we just didn't have the time. And then the whole month of June, Chris was having house renovations done. I was on vacation for a couple of the different times we were going to try to record.
And then
And
immediately
life happened.
after, my house renovations, my plumbing.
Yeah. So we have figured it out, y'all. It's July. We're going to get this episode up ASAP and maybe hopefully have 2 episodes this month. So fingers crossed. No promises. Anyways, let's just start with The Deal, okay? If you remember last time, we did The Deal because it was coming out with the Off Campus series on Amazon Prime, and yes, we binge watched that in 2 days. Okay, which we will discuss a little bit about the show, similarities, differences, things like that. But we did that, and yeah, super excited. So, The Deal by Elle Kennedy. She's about to make a deal with the college bad boy. Hannah Wells has finally found someone who turns her on, but while she might be confident in every other area of her life, she's carting around a full set of baggage when it comes to sex and seduction. If she wants to get her crush's attention, she'll have to step out of her comfort zone and make him take notice, even if it means tutoring the annoying, childish, cocky captain of the hockey team in exchange for a pretend date. And it's going to be oh so good. All Garrett Graham has ever wanted is to play professional hockey after graduation, but his plummeting GPA is threatening everything he's worked so hard for. If helping a sarcastic brunette make another guy jealous will help him secure his position on the team, he's all for it. But when one unexpected kiss leads to the wildest sex of both of their lives, it doesn't take long for Garrett to realize that pretend isn't going to cut it. Now he just has to convince Hannah that the man she wants looks a lot like him. I'm sorry, let me giggle a little bit. Okay, so let's start with
It does sound kind of
it
cheesy,
really
actually.
does. Okay, so first we'll say what Goodreads is, and then we'll say what our rating is. So, with a whopping 1.3 million ratings on Goodreads, the deal stands at 4.19 stars. I don't know why I said 19, that's 19. 4.19.
I think 1.9 sounds
Yeah,
better, but it's neither here nor
but
there.
honestly, for that many ratings, that's a good rating.
Yeah.
Um, I'll give mine because I was the one who suggested the book, and then Chris can say what hers was because she's going to be less biased, I feel. um, I would say 4 stars, personally. Chris, what would you say?
I also gave it 4 stars.
Yay! I recommended a good book. I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, I actually really liked it. It was fun, it was cute, and it was interesting enough to keep me like reading. I wanted to get back to the book. I feel like sometimes romances follow the same pattern as every other romance, and so it's like, oh, I already know what to expect, like blah blah blah, like yeah, yeah. And so I don't get interested in get like picking the book up. So I did listen to it. And I think that I would have enjoyed it better if I physically read this book because the female narrator
Yeah.
just it didn't sound like a college girl.
She did not sound like a junior in college. That is what I will say. The first time I read the book, I listened to the audio as well, and I was like, Garrett's voice actor sounds great. I did not like Hannah's voice actress, which is fine. It's a personal preference. But I agree with you, Chris, that after I've read the physical copy of the book, I liked it a lot more.
Yeah,
What was the Chili Peppers? How many would you give?
maybe like two and a half.
Yeah. For
Three.
I would say 3 because they have a lot of um it wasn't like there was a lot of content, but the content was heavier, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Um because he is teaching her how to do things because she was violated at 15 and she struggles with intimacy because of that, which is understandable. I get that. So he kind of gives her like spicy lessons, I guess you would say. However, I've read books that are like the trope is like best friends and the best friend guy friend is giving the girl spicy lessons, and I feel like some of those books are more spicy than this one was. Let's first talk about the book and then we can talk about our thoughts on the show.
Okay.
Okay. So, why don't you start out?
About my thoughts about the book.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not gonna lie. When they first were describing um the main male character, what's his name? Garrett?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, sorry, it's been a moment and I've read like three other books since. So,
You're fine.
uh, so when you first get introduced to Garrett, I was just like, okay, they wrote him as a stereotypical like jock douchebag and like he's getting a lot of women. I don't think I'm gonna like this character. I don't think I'm gonna like this book. I just don't know. I was really like, okay, but like the thing that kept me reading at this point was that he's a hockey player and I really love hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And so I I don't know. I was just like, man, he's just gonna be like a royal D bag this whole time. But as like his character, I feel like his character is the one that grows the most in this entire book, and I think that you could agree with that.
100%.
And I really love the growth of this character and how like he matures, and I loved hearing about like his childhood and his struggles and why he is the way that he is, kind of like what makes him tick, and like what is the reason why he's kind of just like a manho.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really enjoyed the growth of him. And if it helps, he's like, he's literally my favorite character. Him
Mm-hmm.
and Dean. I'm sorry, but
I know.
I love Dean. So, but yeah, I also love the cute. I'm a huge fan of unique pet names.
Yeah.
And so I really love that. And that really, really just like gave me the like the giddy like, oh, I love this so much. So I fell in love with him so easily.
Yeah. And he uses it so early on, too.
Yes. And so, and it's not like a, I don't know. I like unique pet names that don't sound like insults or food.
Mm-hmm. Or typical.
Yeah. And so I think that that's why I kind of fell in love with the book, because I felt like this book really had layers. And I didn't feel like, even though it did follow the path of a lot of different romances, there was a third back breakup, and like you knew at a certain point in time there was going to be some type of turmoil just because of the agreement that they're in and all this other stuff, right? Like that's pretty typical. It wasn't written in a way that felt like it was every other book.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I would recommend this book to anybody who is looking for um, a nice spicy book that also uh, covers consent.
Yes, and I think that is a big point, is it does cover consent. Like he makes sure she's so comfortable. And my favorite scene, which like we can get into the show in a little bit, but I'm just gonna say a little spoiler. The one thing I was kind of sad about from the show that they didn't include from the book is they did, but it wasn't the exact same way. Was in the book, he goes to Birdie for advice on how to approach intimacy with Hannah, and he doesn't mention her name. But he basically is like, have you ever done this with a virgin? And Birdie gives him advice because Birdie's girlfriend was when they got together. And I loved how he was so careful and he was like, I know if I set up like a real intimate scene that's gonna turn her uncomfortable. It's gonna make her anxious and not enjoy it. And in the
Yeah.
show, he talks to Dean, where I'm just like, bro,
Of all people.
of all people. And like Birdie was on the show.
Yeah.
He was the other assistant captain. So like they could have done that. But Birdie was a side character, and I don't know if it's like with like TV shows, if a person has so many lines and they have to be paid more. Maybe that was the issue.
Oh,
They don't
maybe.
want to have to
I don't
pay
know.
him more. I don't know. I'm not, I don't work on the show. Zero idea. But that's my theory. Anyways, but that shows how he was so careful of her consideration of everything. Like he really wanted to make sure it was done the right way. And I think
Yeah.
that's because of the abuse that his dad did to him and his mom. Is he knew firsthand how careful you have to be in situations when someone's been hurt physically, and their physical hurt was different. Hers was sexual abuse and his was physical abuse. Well, she wasn't abused, but you know what I mean. Their hurt was two different types of physical hurt, and
Yeah.
he knew firsthand how you have to be gentle with people like that. So I thought it was just done in a really great way.
I would agree. I loved that they touched base on like both different types of trauma. I love that they touch base on showing up for one each other, like for one another in different ways, and like just like literally consent itself, because like she showed up for him, he asked for her to be there, and like she didn't budge her way into things with him and his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even though uh the dad like definitely was a jerk. She wanted what was best for him. Uh and then he really respected her and how things were. Although, because I watched the show before I finished the book, um, it was really interesting because the way that the show and the way that the book does the whole him finding out about the guy is so different. It's so different. I definitely feel like the way they did it in the show definitely is better for cinema.
Yes, it was better for cinema, but I hated it.
It wasn't what I don't know. We'll talk about we need to talk about the show
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, um, yeah. And
Yeah.
okay, let's finish the book and then we'll get in the show because I think Chris and I have a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of thoughts and feelings about the show. Um, Another thing I really liked is uh Allie being there for Hannah. Like she was such a good friend. And she like she wasn't like forceful in her trying to get out there. If you like I've read college romances where like the girl has had problems in the past and she doesn't like going to parties and stuff like that, and like the roommate slash friend tries to like get her to go out and do things and come on, live a little. And Allie was like, if you're not going to drink, I'm not going to drink. And like, she didn't want Hannah to feel uncomfortable. And then Hannah was like, no, really, you're fine. I'm okay. You can have a drink. And she's like, are you sure? Like, I don't have to. Like, I don't need it to have fun. Um, and it
Yes,
just
and I
showed me,
loved that.
yeah, it just showed me what true friendship is when you find a friend like that who's going to stick with you. And I do feel like they portrayed their friendship perfectly in the show.
I would agree. She they had so many great characters. So many great characters. Although in the book they don't push her off as like some crazy girl that can't like live without the one guy as much as they pushed it off on her in the book. I feel like there was definitely some like back and forth, but like it didn't seem as obsessive.
Like Allie or Hannah.
Yeah. Yeah, Allie. Allie.
So in the show, she was more obsessive than in the book.
I think so. Do
Yeah.
you not?
I think she tried harder with Sean to keep their relationship more in the show than they did in the book. Because in the book, they didn't break up in the book. In the first book, I should say. I mean, Allie has her own book, so obviously something with her and Sean happens. But it doesn't happen in the first book. And in the first book, like, you get more of like Sean, um, not interaction, but like being there in a way, like at the diner. He's there like when they hang out together, and like he talks about the duet partner. Like, yeah, he's, stuff like that. Like he talks, and you see him there. He has more interaction there. And then, um, I mean, they include the thing where Sean tells her about the campus wide hands off rule, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I feel like you got more of Sean in a different perspective from the book compared to the show. In the show, he like didn't care,
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree.
which like you kind of get that in Allie's book, but they're already broken up at the very beginning of Allie's book. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I definitely am going to pick up the rest of it because I
Yes.
enjoyed it so much and because I watched the show I kind of get got like a little snippet
Yeah. Which Allie's
and
book
so
isn't until the third one. So,
I'm
but
just going to have to keep reading. It's fine.
yeah, especially because I mean they're filming season 2 now, or they're starting getting ready to. Season 2 has been announced that it is Allie and Dean for season 2, which doesn't go along with the books because next should be Logan and the girl he gets with, which is book 2, but they're not doing that for the series. Yeah, probably because they did what they did in season 1 with Allie and Dean.
Probably.
Okay. All in all, we loved this book. 100% recommend the book. Add it to your TBR shelf.
Yes, very much.
um, okay, let's talk about the show a little bit. I'm just gonna say my piece. Okay. My disclaimer. I 100% understand this show was an adaptation. And in shows and in movies, it's not going to 100% follow along with the books. I get that. I understand it. I went in the series knowing that. However, loved the show. Will continue to watch it. I was still very disappointed in the show. because I feel like there was a lot that was changed. The premise of the show was the same. It was the same. Hannah likes Justin, doesn't know how to talk to him. Garrett needs help with a failing grade. Hannah helps him, and in return, he helps her learn how to flirt and try to get a date with Justin. That was the premise of the show. Premise of the book. The details were so different. There were so many little things that were different. Uh,
There were
my
some big things that were different though, and that's the thing that kind of like was an ick for me.
Yes, we could name so many. Um, Garrett breaking up with Hannah instead of Hannah breaking up with Garrett. The reason for that was different. The whole thing with him and the guy, how he reacted to finding out who that guy was, it wasn't in the book. That was not it. He punched the friend of the guy who did the thing to Hannah. That was I
Yes.
was not okay with that. Um, my biggest thing was in the book, um, when she first kisses Garrett and he was like, "Oh, that could just be a fluke," or like he didn't think whatever their thing was. She goes and kisses Dean in the book, which I feel like is a big thing because Dean's the playboy. And in the show, she kisses Logan, which I understand because Logan has a crush on her and they're trying to show that on screen drama. Okay. But I was so mad. When, when we were watching it, I was like,
It makes more sense for it to be Dean.
yes,
It makes more sense for it to be the biggest manho in the whole house.
yes. Like, so mad. Also, what really grind my gears, okay, is in the book, Cindy breaks up with Garrett's dad in the book. After the whole Thanksgiving thing, he finds out that she breaks up with him. And in the show, that doesn't happen. They're still together. And I, mm.
I really hope that like maybe they draw it out for the second batch, but I'm really worried that they're gonna like play into the domestic violence thing.
There's just so many differences. And
Yeah.
again, I liked it. I
You
think
didn't name one of the biggest ones that was kind of just like a upset for me, honestly. And it's the fact that Justin in the show is a uh
musician.
is a musician instead of a football player. And like the whole thing is that people are shocked that Hannah like him because like even Allie because he's a jock.
Yes.
Because there's no commonalities there. She hates jocks, but yet she likes Justin. And so like that makes sense. It makes sense that she wouldn't know how to talk to a football player. It doesn't make sense that she wouldn't know how to talk to a musician. She's literally a musician herself. Also, how are they not crossing paths? Because they're musicians and they go to the same school.
Also, another big thing is she didn't win the showcase. What the heck?
I know.
So how does she stay in school? Because she's supposed to get the scholarship to be able to stay at school. Like,
I don't know.
hello?
Her story's done. Who knows?
I just, I think I would have, again, I liked the show.
Did they
I would,
talk about his trust fund
I
in
don't,
the show?
I don't remember.
I don't think they did.
No, because the whole reason she broke up with
How he
him,
cut ties with his dad and the fact that it was just like a complete waste of a month.
yes, because she broke up with Garrett because Phil threatened to not pay for Garrett's school if she didn't break up with him. And then when she finds out about the hands off campus law, which that
I don't like the
also,
way that that was done, especially because like he
he was
in the
like,
show
I
was
didn't
like
do
I would
that.
never do that. I would never do that. Whereas in the book he's just like hell yeah, I did that.
She
No
literally
one
comes
else can have you. You're being ridiculous.
in the book. She literally comes into the locker room like how it is, but he's showering because he didn't punch the player and get suspended. Okay. Also, he was suspended because of the practice with the Bruins thing. That was stupid. Um, Anyways, he's in the shower and she goes and he goes, "Hey baby, what's up?" he's like proud of it in the book.
Yeah. And I love that because it portrays him as the same guy as he was in the beginning of the book, but with growth. It's he's still that cocky jock, like I know, like what I am and I know what I can have, and like I know that you haven't moved on. I know that you're playing around. And so like that's what like makes it great, and I love it so much. And he's just like, "Yeah, I did do that." Because you're not done. You're not over me. And here's the reasons why. And I think that that would have been so much more entertaining to watch.
Mm-hmm.
To watch her try and like go on a date and all these guys be like, "Nope."
Yes. I will say one thing that I did like how that they did change, but I like how they handled it was in the show. She didn't even tell Allie about her past. She just kept with what she told everyone else, that it was a friend that it happened to. And when she finally confesses it to Allie, Allie goes, "Oh, Hannah, I always knew. I was just waiting for you to feel
Yes.
comfortable to tell me." I did.
I love that.
I love
What a
that.
good friend.
And that shows the friendship that they have from the book that I mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, is that their friendship was so tight and they have a great friendship and a great bond. And that shows that from the book to the show when that happened. I did like that interaction.
Yeah, I would agree.
But yeah, again, I liked the show. I will watch season 2. I'm just, my
Right.
expectations for how it follows the book is, which is also, I don't know how season 2 is going to go, because Dean and Allie's whole book basically happened in one episode.
Who knows?
But you haven't read it yet, so I can't really talk about things that happen in their book.
Nope, please don't.
And I won't. But I'm just like, oh, I'm so curious how it's gonna happen, like what's gonna happen
Yeah.
in that. So yeah,
Yep. We'll
that's how
find
I
out.
feel about the show.
Yep.
There are just a
Well,
lot of things that were changed.
yeah, I would agree. But overall, both of them are great.
Yes.
But like the show, even though it obviously follows the same storyline, it's not the same story.
Yes. The end goal is the same. Just how it gets to that goal is not.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But it was fun and I like it and I'm excited to see what the show does and I'm excited to read the rest of the series.
yes, I'm excited for you to tell me about the books.
Yeah. Speaking of series that we love,
Wait,
the next
we gotta do bingo.
Oh my gosh, yes, we can do that. So, our bingo, we actually checked 3 off, which is good because we pretty much skipped a month.
Yeah.
So, the bingos that we did were third act breakup. We did first kiss within the first 50% of the book, and then a unique pet name.
Yeah. And that makes us one away from getting a bingo, which last year it took
Yes.
us till the end of the year to get a bingo.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, all 3 of those were actually on the same line, which was completely unintentional. Um, and so all we have now is set in a place that we want to visit.
Hmm.
So we'll see. If you
Yes.
have a good idea for a book for us to read that maybe we could check off that mark, let us know.
Because we don't know. I mean, I guess we need to say places we want to visit to try to find a book from there. But I don't want to hunt for a book. I just want it to be
Me either.
unexpectedly be in a place we'd want to visit.
Right, but maybe the book is the reason why I decide I want to visit it there.
Oh, that's also a good idea. I didn't think of it that way. Okay.
Okay, so speaking of series that we love, the next book that we're going to read is one, it's actually very controversial with people who loved it and people who absolutely hated it. And there are some people who will refuse to read the next book because of this book. So I think that this is a great book for our podcast because we'll be able to tell you our honest opinion of whether or not we loved it or not. But it is one of my favorite series.
Yes. So it's kind of a reverse of Chris has already read this book. I have the book, I just haven't read it yet. And I will say it is book 3 of the series. So we're not starting at the first book of the series. We're starting at book 3. However, we have both read the first 2 books. So I'll let you introduce it.
It is, drumroll, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros.
I'm so nervous to read this book.
I'm nervous that it's going to be the third Crescent City book for you.
That's how I'm so nervous. Because if y'all know anything about me, I was so disappointed in the third Crescent City book that I actually got rid of the first 2 books from Crescent City because I was like, I'm refusing to read any more of this series.
I don't think it's that bad. Um, I'm not going to tell you anything because I don't want to like disappoint. I will say that I loved this. I loved this book, but I looked at it as a setup for the next part of the story.
Okay. I will
So
try to keep an open
that's
mind.
kind of how I read it. Patrick listened to these books and
Okay.
he loved all three.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do like a refresher of book 1 and 2 because I remember the premise of the things that happened, but I need to like go to like a cliff notes of like the major things that happened in book 1 and 2 because the last when I read book 2 was last year, so it has
Yeah.
been a hot minute. Because I've heard so many controversial things about book 3, so I was so nervous to pick it up. I bought it and I was like, oh, now I'm scared. So,
Yeah.
um, I'll give my predictions based off the
Yeah.
cover, which is kind of difficult because, again, I don't really remember. I remember there was that big fight thing, and God, what's his name? What's the main guy's name?
Zayden.
Yes, Zayden. Something happens to him at the end of the second book, but I don't remember what. He starts to show. Does he get? Oh man, this is so bad that I don't remember. But doesn't he get like something that makes him start that can make them turn bad or something? Is it like a
Yeah,
cut?
it's Venin.
Venom, that's right. From
Yeah.
how do they get that? From what?
Um uh, isn't it using that's where it's hard because it's been a while since I have read this also, so I'm gonna reread
Okay,
also,
okay.
obviously. But
So and like she just finds out
is
Violet is her name, right? Violet
Violet.
Sorrengail. Okay, she like does she find out at the end of the second book that he gets that, or he keeps that to himself and hasn't told her, and the dragons know? I don't remember. Anyways, I just know something's wrong with him, but it hasn't come to light yet. Because they basically don't you die from that, or you turn evil?
Yeah.
Okay, so knowing that, I see it's black and white on the cover, so I'm assuming that's like it says brave the dark, so like evil and good, like a battle between the two. Like he's the storm is raging inside of him. This storm is raging inside his body, and he's gonna try to fight this venom, whatever it's called, to like not turn bad. And I see Violet's 2 dragons, which I like how they portray that because the gold dragon and the black dragon that she has, which that was so cool. I do remember that. being determined because her gold dragon is like rare. Those used to be extinct, correct? So it's
Uh,
like,
yes. Kind of. Yes.
okay. Anyways, I
I
do
don't
remember.
remember what you learn in 2 and what you learn in 3,
Okay. I'm
but
gonna,
everybody, the gold dragon, is an adolescent. I do know
yes.
that
Yes, she's still young.
because of the feather tail or whatever.
Yes. Um, anyways, so you see the two of them on there. The cover really doesn't give much away, to be honest. It's just her two dragons in black and white. So I can't really fully predict what's going to happen in this book. Obviously, it's going to end in a cliffhanger because it's book 3 and there's more books coming. Um, so I know I'm going to be left at a suspense at the end of this book. So I'm preparing myself for that. But yeah,
Yeah, I think that's
that's
been all of them.
yeah, I mean, it's a series. What do you expect, people? They're all going to end on a cliffhanger until she says this is the final book. Okay, it's my hot take. Every book that's about a, unless it's like, it can be read as a standalone type series, but obviously this isn't that. Like it's a Twilight or Hunger Games where you knew going into them they are going to end on cliffhangers. So, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyways, I'm excited
Yay.
and we'll see. Because
Yep.
hasn't she
I'm
announced
excited
that
too.
she's started writing book 4?
Oh yeah, they've been talking about it.
So we will see. We will see. We will see. Anyways, um, thank you for coming today. We recommend you reading The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Add that to your TBR shelf. And we still do recommend you watching Off Campus on Amazon Prime. Just know going into it, there's a lot of differences. But that is all. Oh, make sure to follow us on Instagram. Because if we get the bingo with this next book, we're not going to get the bingo. It's a made up place with the 6th book. But maybe the book after this one, we'll get our bingo. And
Yeah.
then we'll do a giveaway for getting our first bingo of the year.
Woohoo!
So make sure to follow us.
Yeah.
It's the_TBR_podcast on Instagram. And subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. So we'll
Okay.
see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the To Be Read podcast, where we discussed The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Join us next time as we dive into Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros.